YouTube, this is Toy Customizer Wakeangel2K1 bringing you another quick personal project. This is based off of that Legend of Zelda DLC they launched for Sonic Lost World earlier this week. Or late last week, I forget which. By the way, was anybody else as gobsmacked as me? I mean, for a second I thought it was an elaborate April Fool's joke. I mean, I hadn't heard a thing about it until 2 days before the thing launched. I mean, how did they keep that a secret? I mean, was it really a secret, or was I just really out of the loop somehow? I mean, I have a really hard time believing that news this big could avoid my Sonic radar until 2 days before release. That's just crazy. Anyway, as soon as I saw that screen cap, I knew that there would be no way that I would not be making this. So, here he is. I'm gonna make him. The base figure would of course be Sonic, although I threw in the right hand from a Tails, so that he'd have something of a holding thing hand. I didn't have any actual Sonic holding thing hands to spare for this project, but the Tails hand can work as a holding thing hand in a pinch. So yeah, just in case I would want him to hold a sword, because he's going to be dressed as Link, you're going to want to put a sword in his hand at some point, right? In the virtual world that Sonic exists in, his spines are flexible and compressible, so you can imagine the four head spines he stuffs into the hat are capable of bending and conforming to its shape, but on the real figure those are very stiff plastic and you can't do that. So I had to trim quite a bit of Sonic's natural spines away, leaving only the bottom two untouched because they're the ones that don't go in the hat. Then I molded the hat around it. You can kind of see the impressions, and it actually kind of makes the same shape that Link's hat takes on his head. I'm saying this as I look at the Link action figure on my desk, and you have no idea what I'm talking about. I also made sure to sculpt in the seam lines that the hat has, and painted it green, because, green hat. I can't believe that Sonic's actually wearing the costume. That is so awesome. It's one thing to have Sonic cameo in a Zelda level, or have a Zelda level cameo in a Sonic game, but to have him actually dressed as Link is just... the one thing that Zelda's DLC was missing was a cameo from Caliburn. Even if it wasn't functional for gameplay, just having Caliburn in Sonic's hand would have made it perfect. But, c'est la vie. The fact that the DLC exists at all is just amazing. Sonic's arms are relatively light on sculpt. I just added the sleeve bits on the shoulders. I also, you see there's a little seam made in. That's a line dividing where the chainmail comes out from underneath the tunic sleeves, and the forearms kind of have that whole armored gauntlet look, so they're sculpted in too. Then it's painted. The armor and the little bit of the chainmail that shows are silver, of course. The main body of the gloves are brown, because Link wears brown gloves, and then you can see just that little bit of green on the sleeves. Surprisingly, Sonic's actually wearing the white underclothing, the tights, although only the shirt part, because Sonic doesn't wear pants. The boots. It would have been easy to use Jet's boots, Amy's boots, or even Silver's boots. These boots exist. But those boot parts are kind of rare, as those three figures are kind of hard to get a hold of. I didn't want to waste the few that I have, because I think I have one of each pair left. So instead I used a more plentiful resource, Knuckles' feet, and I just sculpted them over them to look like boots. I even cut into the sole so that it would have that heel. And of course, given a paint job, they look pretty cool. Knuckles' boots are kind of a lot bigger than most other characters' feet, so it kind of makes Sonic look like he's wearing these gigantic clod hoppers, but I think they work for combat boots. You remember in Sonic Lost World, Sonic's kick attack is actually more powerful than the standard homing attack in most situations, so I like to think that this is a reflection of that. A little bit of an inside joke. Making the little tunic on Sonic's body was actually pretty hard, just because the body is so tiny. There's a lot of little detail you gotta get in there. like the shape of the little collar and the belt buckle. Plus, the skirt piece has to look like it's hanging naturally without being too close to the body because then it would limit articulation of the legs at the hips. When it's painted, it's mostly green with a brown belt, but there are just little hints of silver, like behind the collar to represent the chainmail that peeks through, as well as the silver belt buckle, of course. And although it doesn't really show up well, the inside of the tunic and just a little bit of the bottom is painted silver to represent that tiny bit of chainmail that peeks out from underneath it. So let's see what Sonic looks like fully assembled. So there he is. Oh, just look at him. He's adorable in his little costume. Oh, I love this thing. I was afraid the hat would sort of throw him off balance, and he does kind of fall a little bit because the knees are a bit loose. I might have to tighten those, but he stands pretty well as long as his knees don't buckle. And of course, the reason he has the tails holding thing hand is this. He looks pretty cool holding Caliber in there, doesn't he? Oh, he looks so cool with his little sword of awesomeness, which is a sword, and it is awesome. I think that's the only sword that could really match the Master Sword in terms of video game coolness. And because this is a crossover, I have to show him standing next to my Link action figure. This is from the Video Game Superstars series, which I got several years ago off the clearance rack at Toys R Us. And because besides the highly expensive Figma Link, there hasn't really been an action figure of him for, ever. But still, yeah, this was a great DLC pack for free. And if you haven't downloaded it yet, do it because it's free. And why haven't you?